traffic is expected to increase on major routes around the country as many motorists travel to or from their holiday destinations. And with the heavy rain expected once again, motorists are advised to exercise extra caution along these routes. For an update on the situation as it stands, at least in the N3, let's bring in Thania Dhoogra, who's the operations manager for the N3 Toll Concession, joining us via our telephone line. Tanya, thanks very much indeed for making time. So far, we've seen about a dozen fatal accidents in Limpopo. How's the situation looking like this weekend where you're at?
Good morning, Ayanda, and to all your viewers. Fortunately, the N3 was fairly quiet this weekend, and there weren't any major incidents that disrupted the flow of traffic. Although we did see some traffic flow during the course of yesterday, for the most part, it was as expected.
Right. The concern now, of course, is that the weather may complicate the situation a bit. Already we've seen reports from the N3 Toll Concession of cloudy conditions from Sidara to Gela Plaza. How worried are you that weather conditions may again disrupt the work that you need to do?
Well, very much the weather is definitely playing a part, as it has done since pretty much the beginning of the festive season. But yes, it does place additional pressure on the infrastructure and also a bigger responsibility on road users to make sure that they remain vigilant and alert at all times and slow down while they're driving on wet surfaces, because it does increase the risk of slippery conditions. Also, visibility is reduced, so to please make sure that they turn on their headlights and increase their following distance.
When we consider the volumes of cars on the country's roads, do you have a time period that you would say is advisable for motorists to travel? I mean, is there such a thing even during the festive season?
Well, it's particularly difficult for us to forecast that with, any precision. At the moment, what I can give you an indication of is that we are expecting that there will be some movement on the road today, particularly in the northbound direction. We are still seeing traffic moving southbound, but it might be some northbound movement, and if it is substantial, that will put some pressure on Van Riemen's Pass. And so, law enforcement might be required there to reduce the flow up the pass. So people are advised to please continue to be patient. At this stage, our forecasts are that traffic during this course of the week will be fairly normal traffic flow, but we should see an increase again in the northbound direction next week, just after the New Year.
Absolutely. We had gotten assertions that there'll be a bolstering of law enforcement officials. Has that happened? And if so, is it helping?
Very much so. Law enforcement is in full force on the road, and they are doing random compliance checks to ensure that drivers and vehicles are compliant, because that's particularly important at this period of time. But yes, they are ramping up all of the activities, but also, again, the onus is on road users to ensure that they themselves are compliant. They should ensure that they don't drive intoxicated, especially now during the silly season, and always ensure that both themselves and their vehicles are in a good state for the journey.
Thania Dhoogra is the operations manager for the N3 Toll Concession. Tanya, as always, thanks very much indeed for your time.